Hi, this is Garth Connor. I'm an environmental scientist at EPA in Philadelphia. What I'm going to talk about today is the lack of resiliency to climate change in environmental justice communities. For about 20 years, I worked in the office here, the Office of Enforcement, Compliance, and Environmental Justice. It got realigned and renamed about a year ago. So I'm not currently in that office. It no longer exists. But I did have over 20 years of experience in environmental justice. Environmental justice communities, or what EPA now calls communities with potential environmental justice concerns, are often located in flood-prone and low-lying areas. Think of the lower Ninth Ward in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. I was there. I'm part of the Response Support Corps here in Philadelphia, and some of the neighborhoods in New Orleans really struggled after Katrina. The French Quarter, on the other hand, in a very not a flood-prone area, the opposite, in a high area, it was back functional within a few weeks of Katrina. But EJ communities are often in low areas and they are susceptible to extreme weather events. This photo I have on this slide is from right after Hurricane Harvey near Houston, Texas. And you can see how flooded the whole neighborhood got. One of the problems in these type of areas is that there's a lack of infrastructure improvements and or public investment. So it's much lower in the surrounding areas. You see cement, impervious, concrete, lack of nearby stormwater retention ponds, very few parks and open space, so they can't handle a lot of water and it floods quite frequently. Recent studies have shown that there's a $6 savings in future construction costs for every $1 spent now on resiliency. That ratio was once 4-to-1. I think it's eventually going to be 10-to-1. But you can save enormous amounts of money in the future by investing in resiliency now. What can you buy? Hurricane shutters. You can elevate homes, install green space, put in fireproof roofs. These are all good examples of resiliency now, and you install it currently, and then it's going to save you money in the future when an extreme weather event hits. If you have your homes all elevated, like if you're down in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, all the homes are elevated. If they get hit by 10 feet of water, it doesn't do much damage to the neighborhood. That same storm with all the houses unelevated, it's millions and millions of dollars of reconstruction costs. One of the major difficulties in relocating people in these neighborhoods that are flooding over and over again is that the nearby neighborhoods are even more expensive and the residents can't afford to move into the expensive parts of a city. So instead, what happens is we just rebuild over and over and over again in the same location. It floods out, you just build the same house in the same flood-prone area. But I do think we could do better by thinking about resiliency now and trying to make a community more resilient or less susceptible to a future extreme weather event. Thank you. Bye.